Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ole Brøgger, and if you're new here, I really hope I earn your subscription today. In this video, I'm going to show you how I speed paint. I paint a lot of miniatures for my Dungeons & Dragons campaign and my setup, and sometimes it's just all about getting a miniature fast on the table. It doesn't have to be an artwork, it just has to do its function at the time it's on the table. And sometimes it's on the table for maybe 10 minutes and then I'm never gonna use it again. A week ago, I posted this image on the Army Painter fan page, and I claimed that I could paint this miniature in 15 minutes. Someone asked me if I would do a video about it, and that's the one you're going to see right now. So why don't we get started? And this is the little fellow that this story is all about. Total work time with a brush in my hand was 15 minutes, and that's without the drying time. Here's the latest batch of my prints. I just printed out a feller like the old Yeti. This one is just a bit bigger because I wanted to have a big brother for this guy. And I'm going to paint him the same way I did the first one. But first we have to remove all the supports. They come off pretty easily and I don't need any tools to clean it up. The miniature is pretty soft, so I can just pull it off with my fingers. Then we have the base, and it's a bit rough in the bottom, so I will just make it more smooth with some sandpaper. I'll now glue it onto the base with some super glue, and for this I'll also use some activator. For miniatures I usually use a super glue gel because a lot of super glues are a bit too runny for me, and in this way I can better control it. I put some activator on the base and then it's just putting down the miniature. And if you look here, there's a tiny gap under his foot. And to give this some more strength, I will use some of the resin I use in my printer. I'll just put a few drops in a tiny glass I have here with a brush, and then I will hit it with an UV laser pointer. And to toughen him up and give him a hard surface, I will put him 5 minutes into my cure station. Now I will use my airbrush to prime it with some matte black from the Army Painter Air series. I will spray from below and up, so I will hit all the shadow areas. When the paint comes out of the airbrush, it dries up pretty fast, so I'm ready for the next step with the matte gray, and then I will give it the zenithal highlight where I spray the paint down from the top without hitting the shadow areas. To pop up the highlights, I will use the matte white from the Army Painter with a dry brush. When you're dry brushing, you can just use any big brush. It just needs to be soft. And then I just pour up a tiny drop and wipe out most of the paint on some paper. The idea of dry brushing is to have as little paint on the brush as possible, because you can always add paint to the miniature but never remove it. I brought out my wet palette, and now it's time for some pale bone. This is a speed paint from the Army Painter. I used this color where there was any bare skin. For the fur I used this runic gray, and this was just the same procedure, a very generous layer of speed paint all over the fur. For the lips and nose I used this purple alchemy. And then a drop of white for the teeth and the eyes. I'm sorry about the blurry picture, but my head was in the way. Some grim black for the nails and the eyes. I used the Insane Detail brush from the Army Painter. I also used the grim black to make some more heavy shadows under the mouth and the nose. I let the paint dry for 10 minutes and then I opened my white paint. It was time to give the second dry brush. And we're done. Here he is with his little brother. And here they are. Let's put them into the environment where they belong. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Please like and subscribe. It supports me a lot, and I will see you maybe sooner than later. Goodbye for now.